What's up, ladies and gentlemen? I am your host that does the most from coast to coast, so let's propose a toast. I am Michael Fletcher, aka Michael Locks the God, musician, audio engineer, actor, whatever you need me to be. And today we are going to go over another one of a kind tutorial for you newbies out there with logicprox. This one is going to be how to open and save a project. Just beginner stuff, so you'd be surprised how many people don't know how to do this, or is just starting, who's been going to studios but decided they wanted to record themselves. So these tutorials is there to help those who are new to the game. So you want to open up your program, and you're going to see you have a menu here on the left that says new project, recent, live loop, grids, tutorials, demo projects, project templates. So they're pretty self-explanatory. You have your tutorials here with your live loops, your quick sampler, your drum machine designer, and your step sequencer. Really helpful. Then you have some grids that you can download. I might fool with this a little bit later on. And then you have your recent. You see, I was working on something earlier today called Muddy Hands. And this 90s vibe song right here is actually a song that my son and I are working on. It started out just a class project. I was just working on the instrumental, and I was going to rap to it. And then I had it playing on my monitors, and he was like, "Daddy, play that again and listen." And then he just started singing, and I was like, "Oh my goodness!" And I was like, "Come here," and put him in front of the microphone, and he did it in one take, and it was amazing. So, yeah. Okay, but we're going to talk about doing a new project, not a recent project. So we go here to recent, and you can either have your empty project or you can have your live loops. We're going to go to empty project. You can see right here it says details. You can click here. Has musical grid. You can already have your tempo set for when it opens, or the key signature, time signature. For those of y'all that don't know what time signature, your key signature is, I'll have a tutorial for that coming up soon. Your input device, your output device. You see I got the Scarlett 18i20. Love it. And then your sample rate, your frame rate, your spatial audio's off, and then surround format. So we're just going to go to empty project, click choose. Now you got a new window that says create new track. All right, this is your track menu window. So you either have your MIDI track right here that is always green, and within it you have your software instrument, and that's where you have your MIDI keyboard hooked up where you can have your virtual instruments. And then your external MIDI, where you have a whole bunch of just different synthesizers or different MIDI plugins. Then you have your pattern, which is also software instrument, but you're dealing with the pattern grid. Then you have a cool feature called the session player, which you can actually create virtual drummers, bass players, keyboard players, and you can actually key it into how you want it to your taste, and the algorithm, it works perfect on it as it mixes to whatever you have going on in your mix already. It's very good at adapting. Then you have your audio, where you have your mic and your line, or your guitar, bass, your audio input, audio output. I always have open library. And down here you got number of tracks to create. You can create as many tracks as you want. I just normally just do, sometimes I'll do 8, so we'll just type in 8. But you can do whatever you want. You can just do 1 if you want it. So we'll click create, and you see it goes audio 1 through 8 different tracks. So we have this session open. So now what do we do? All right, so first things first, if you are not creating your music from scratch, if you're recording vocals, or if you have a instrumental that you are going to record vocals to, then you want to import that on track 1. So you want to go up here to file, then you want to go down to import, then you want to go to audio file. Let's go to my desktop, documents, music. Let's just open this. And as you see, when you click on it, it highlights it, and it gives you all the information that you need to know. What type of waveform it is. how big it is, when it was created. You can even show more. Go down here, stereo, how long it is, the sample rate, how many bits per sample. Pretty cool. So I'm an audiophile nerd, so excuse me. Click open, and then what we're going to, hold on, where'd it go? Okay, open. I always want me to open it on, that has never happened to me before, when I opened up 8 tracks. First time for everything. I just started using Logic. The first time I used Logic was in 2020, right during the pandemic. My wife got me a MacBook, and we was about to have our last child, who is now 5, and so I recorded a song for her on that, and it was the first time I got a taste of that. But I really didn't know what I was doing other than what I've taught myself. But since I've been in school for audio engineering, for recording arts, I have learned a whole lot about sound design, audio design, recording vocals, creating music, MIDI, whatever, music theory, all of those things. Been learning. So we have your track loaded. Let's click play.
You are more than just a vibe, just a vibe. Get to know you, take my time. I'ma take my time.
As you, hopefully you can hear it, because every time I do this, it's hit or miss. Like sometimes the audio records and sometimes it doesn't. I can hear myself, so I'm hoping that it does. But if you look at this meter up here, that is bouncing up when I press play.
You are more than just a vibe.
That is going from green to yellow. That is good. You don't want it to be red, so it means that the volume, the decibels, is hitting right at around -6, -3, because this isn't mastered, so you want to give yourself headroom. But that is for another video. So we got this loaded up, and then you can just click here and then rename the track for instrumental, you know, and then you can right click and name region by track, and now it's named just like the track. And you see how the tracks are color coded, and you can also do different things like color code them to where you know where your vocals are for verse 1, and the other verses, choruses, and blase. So now that we have that, you want to you have your session open, you have this on. So now we can arm. Yo, mic check. You see how it is bouncing. The green is bouncing. I accidentally opened up a stereo. These are stereo tracks, which they're supposed to be mono, you know. I have another microphone for stereo, but anyway, so you record your vocals.
You are more than just a vibe.
Mic check.
Just a vibe.
1 2 1 2.
Get to know you, take my.
And as you see, this audio is horrible, because just how everything is set up with me recording while I'm doing this and screen recording, so it makes the sound really, really wonky. So we can check 1 2 1 2. Yeah. Oh, I stand corrected, y'all. That is a sexy sounding audio file right there. That wave is nice. Let's see. Let's hear it again. Check 1 2 1 2. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that is crazy. I really love this SM57. That is what I'm recording on, by the way. It is a dynamic microphone, so you don't need phantom power. It's amazing. I just started using it. I've had it for a year and just started using it to record vocals. I normally used it to record instruments, or if I was doing sound design, something like that. So now we got our vocals on here, quote unquote vocals, with our instrument. Now we want to save it. So you just go up to here, file, go to save as, and then whatever you want to save it. As you see, I'm in my user library, my name, blase, and then you want to name it accordingly. And down here, you can organize your project as a package or a folder. But if you are a newbie, I recommend that you save it as a package. It'll make it easier for you to find your files and to share them, so they're not so confusing, you know. And then have your audio files checked, because you need that folder for all of your audio files, whether it is your instruments or your beat and your vocals. And I just got Alchemy audio data in there because I use Alchemy a lot when I'm making beats and stuff. So I was making beats earlier too. So, but I'm not going to save this because this is just a test or whatever. So you're going to click save, and remember where you save it. I suggest you save it in your documents folder. Create a folder in there called studio session, and then put all of your session folders in there so it's all in one. And then make a copy of that from time to time onto a like a hard drive, external hard drive, and put that up safe and sound, just so you have a backup, because you don't know how many hard drives I've lost or how much music I've lost not backing up my music over the years. And I've been doing this for 30 years. So, you know, take it from me, I'm trying to save you some heartache and music, you know. So that's how we open up a session in Logic Pro X. Import files, record, save, bam. So if you are a newbie, I hope this video serves you well. I hope you got some information that can help you on your new journey in making music and creating music, whether it is a hobby or it is a passion of yours, that you seeking it professionally. I hope you got something from this. Don't forget to follow, like, and subscribe. Comment on here and let me know what you didn't like about this, what you would like to see in the future, because I am going to be doing more of these in the future, like at least 2 a week, at least releasing 2 a week. I'll probably do one every day, but release 2 a week. Just depends on the demand. So I will tune in with y'all next time. Peace, love, and light.